Michelle Tucker Bradford, your AAA Program and Events Manager. I'm your host for tonight, and joining me behind the scenes is your co-host tonight, Diane Vavala. She's our AAA Travel Product Manager. Hi, Diane. Thanks for joining us tonight. Of course, we're excited to have everyone coming this evening and joining us for this presentation with AAA Member Choice Vacations as we see these hidden gems from around the world. But before we get into the presentation, I would just like to remind you of the valued expertise you have with your local AAA Travel Advisor. They bring a lot to the table. You know, they continue to enhance their knowledge through destination and vendor training, as well as personalized travel experiences, all to help you enjoy a seamless vacation from planning it all the way to the very end when you're returning home. To ensure you have a AAA travel agent, if you don't already have one, you can easily find one at AAA.com/travel agent. Just enter in your hometown and it'll find an expert near you. So great way to meet a local AAA travel agent. Of course, our presentation this evening is focused on our valued travel partner, AAA Member Choice Vacations. Thousands of AAA members, I kid you not, thousands of AAA members choose to travel on guided vacations with AAA Member Choice Vacations every year. And here's just a couple reasons why. You know, travelers book again and again because of the unbelievable pricing that they have. They're expertly planned itineraries. They offer the best destinations in the world, and they offer worry-free travel. But best of all, they offer the AAA exclusive member benefit from AAA Member Choice Vacations, which is a $50 per person savings on every itinerary. So thank you so much for that, Member Choice. We do really appreciate that. And of course, every year, AAA partners with AAA Member Choice Vacations to create exclusive group departures for our members. And these are just absolutely incredible departures that are curated with the AAA member in mind. And those are things that you can work with your local AAA travel advisor. They'll be able to direct you to those departures as well as everything else is presented to us this evening. So just want to head on over now and introduce Kevin Carter from AAA Member Choice Vacations. Welcome, Kevin. Thank you so much for joining us tonight and taking us on this adventure.
Thank you so much. Yes, happy to be here.
Fantastic. And, you know, we're ready to go. I'm sure everybody is ready to go. So if you want to start off showing us these heading gems, we're ready to learn.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you so much for the introduction. Yes, AAA Member Choice Vacations, they've been running guided tours for 107 years now to all 7 continents, 160 plus itineraries to all 7 continents. And obviously, guided travel, if you've never experienced a guided tour or an escorted tour, it has changed. I mean, obviously, we've had to evolve and adapt with the modern traveler because today's modern traveler is savvy and confident, culturally curious. They're routine busters and explorers. Maybe 20, if not 30 years ago, Member Choice Vacations, when we offered guided tours, people wanted 8 hours of sightseeing and group activities. They wanted 3 meals a day. They really didn't care what they ate at that time. They really just wanted to see the destination, see the must-sees, and really they didn't want to leave that guide side and leave the groups. But we really have adapted and become pioneers on the new way to travel with our expertly developed itineraries to these destinations. We have product designers in all of these countries that are designing the tours. We don't use destination management companies, so that's why we can even have wonderful pricing and value. So I do have a quick video to show you what I'm talking about and really how we've evolved throughout the years for guided travel.
I live in Australia and I design our tours.
I live in Italy.
I live in Croatia.
Portugal. I live in the United States. In Japan.
Portugal and Spain, and I design.
And I design our tours. Our tours are created for travelers, by travelers. There's no middleman between our brand promise and our traveler's experience.
Travelers get access to the real local culture. They'll see how people eat and live,
and how they do business in the countries that we visit.
We're curious about culture.
And we know that you are too.
It's Tuesday, it must be Belgium, is our guide on what not to do. Every day is new and different.
You'll eat in local restaurants and in locals' homes. You'll take cooking classes and do dine-arounds and join a walking food tour to explore a city.
Of course, you can also explore a city by dogsled.
Or tuk-tuk, trolleys, safari jeep, public transportation, even a vintage car.
And you'll overnight in igloos and in tree houses.
And in castles, chateaus, and Italian villas. You get the point.
And speaking of where you'll overnight, we have the fewest one-night stays.
Because when you go on a trip that you've been dreaming about, you shouldn't feel rushed.
I hate feeling rushed.
The time is best spent in the destination, not driving between them.
We design tours to spend the fewest hours on the coach as possible.
And your tour is more inclusive. You'll get the must-sees and local experiences, not one or the other.
Because we get it.
We get it. We are travelers.
We are travelers.
We are travelers too.
Well, thank you. I think that video really told the story of why guided and why to embrace guided touring. So if you've ever experienced a guided tour, or even if you've never traveled with AAA Member Choice Vacations, what exactly are you getting? Well, you're getting hotel to hotel baggage handling, expertly guided city guides, authentic culinary experiences, cultural experiences, and then access to sites and attractions. One thing people don't realize is all of your tickets are purchased. So your entrance fees, there's no waiting in line for tickets. There's no waiting in line for entrance. You join the group and you enter as a group. So there's no wasting time in destination. I think that's what people love the most when they come back. They realize that, wow, I didn't have to think. It was done for me. And the unique transportation I'll be going over, but these are like the video said, they're designed by travelers for travelers with over 100 years of passion and expertise. They did mention in the video fewer one-night stays. To see destinations sometimes, and it's inevitable, you have to stay at hotels one night, but we average almost 3 nights per hotel stay. So you can enjoy the hotel. It's less packing and unpacking, and you can really enjoy the amenities of the hotel. 5-star touring with 4-star plus accommodations. I'll be reviewing kind of the accommodations that we are accustomed to using. We're very, very inclusive as a company, and there's balance. One thing I do want to talk about is balance of a trip. When you go on a member choice vacations, it's 50% group activities and sightseeing with the group and the guide, and then 50% on your own. Now, that is one thing that has changed. People want to get acclimated to an area and then kind of do their own thing. That tour manager is there for you the whole time on the trip. They're with you. The same guide is with you, whether it's a 5-night stay or a 30-night stay. That guide is with you, but they're there to point you in the right direction, and it's really like traveling with a friend. Culinary immersions really have changed, and the location of our accommodations and the uniqueness is very, very important. And then, as I mentioned, those tour managers, they're hardworking and they are the best in the industry for member choice vacations. Now, I did mention accommodations. We just don't say, give you a location, say, well, this is a very nice hotel in Rome, Rome location. We're going to give you and your travel advisor the location and the sites, and so you can look up these accommodations. We use strategically located hotels. I have some video on the igloo hotels that I'm going to feature on our Finland tour. These are our wine barrel hotels in Portugal, which are very unique, and then many castle stays in Europe and the UK and Ireland. Very, very nice accommodations. So we pride ourselves on listing the hotels. We want you to look them up, and they are superior class 4-star premium hotels with some 5-star properties that we use on some of our tours. Dining reimagined. We're not just giving you a meal, we're giving you an experience. So home hosted meals, cooking classes, restaurants, dine-arounds, progressive dinners, tasting menus. And just to give you an example, in Southeast Asia, we do a cooking class. The chef brings us to a farmer's market, picks out the ingredients, goes back to the restaurant, and we have a cooking demonstration along with doing it ourselves and then pairing it with wines. So you really get to experience the culture, the food, They're so proud of their food, and really this is one thing that we really have enhanced over the years. We can always take care of dietary concerns and meal restrictions or dietary restrictions. That tour manager is there. They're used to the American traveler, the North American traveler, so they're very accommodating for us. Must-see inclusions. Now, if you've ever been on a guided tour and they're coming down the aisle every day and say, well, if you'd like to see the Colosseum, if you'd like to see the Eiffel Tower, it's extra out of money. That is not our philosophy. We do the must-sees. For instance, when we go to Paris, we have dinner in the Eiffel Tower as a group, again, skipping all the lines, not wasting any time. We skip all the lines at the Colosseum. That's an inclusion. That's not $100, $200 out of pocket while you're on tour. So when you come back, if you do any of the options, it's not a large amount of money that's out of pocket. One thing that we do might have a free evening, and we offer a dinner show with transportation. Or in Australia or in Africa, we might do a balloon ride as an option. But the must-sees are in the package, and they're not more money out of pocket. Transportation reimagined. We're not just on and off a motor coach all the time. We're really using trams, metros, local transportation, 4x4 Jeeps in Jordan, tuk-tuks in Southeast Asia, dog sleds in Finland, but really trains, camels, really trying to get out what the locals use. So during your free time, you understand how the ferries work, the trams, the local metros. So you're comfortable during your free time exploring on your own, which has become very, very popular. Now, just to let you know, we're not making you take a camel to dinner in the Outback, but it's an option that if is included in the package, if you'd really like to experience that local culture, you're able to. Choice on tour. Now, we've pioneered this with member choice vacations. These are included in the tour package. They're not out of pocket expenses, but it just lets you paint your own picture, makes the trip your own, and it's based on activity level, experience, what you're comfortable with. But just to give you an example, in Reykjavik in Iceland, you can choose a walking tour with a local guide in Reykjavik, or a biking city tour in Reykjavik. So it's your activity level, it's what you're comfortable with, but it's just a way for you just to kind of paint your own picture and make the tour your own. Now, very important, if any package you book with AAA, Member Choice Vacation, Land and Air, we call it a complete transportation package. This is kind of a hot button or a pain point for members getting to and from the airport. That is not the case with Member Choice Vacations. We do in-destination transfers, of course, to and from the airport when we get to the destination. But this is a hometown pickup, which is basically sedan service, private chauffeur service to and from the airport within 50 miles, complimentary. Now, that's over 100 gateways in the U.S. alone, and we do offer that from 50 to 75 miles, that it could be a small surcharge depending on that. Does not need to be their physical home address. So if you can get within that 50 miles or 75 miles, you can use a family or friend's house. It's better than having them drop you off or paying for very expensive parking at the airport. And I have a quick video just to show you what you would experience with Member Choice Vacation with our transportation package.
When your members purchase air with Member Choice Vacations, they enjoy included private chauffeur service to and from the airport. It's total peace of mind for your members, and less stress and more commission for you. A driver will pick your members up from their home and drive them to the airport and pick them up upon their return. This service is available on all air-inclusive tours for travelers within 50 miles of more than 90 U.S. gateways. It's a touch of luxury to start and end your members' Member Choice Vacations experience.
Well said. It's just a premium experience that really sets the tone from the beginning all the way to the end of your trip. There's a little of anxiety of maybe getting to and from the airport, and this is going to put you at ease. Everybody loves to see their name at the airport when they land in the destination and bring you to your back to your home. It's just a nice way to travel. As Michelle mentioned, all members save on all tours. You save $50 per person. on every tour and up to $75 credit on pre-purchase optional excursions. So again, we're not a very option-driven company, but we average maybe 2 to 3 options for a 8-day trip to Europe. So great to have that $75 credit on pre-purchased options that you can work with your travel advisors to book you on something that you'd like to do that is not included in the whole package. So really great savings being a AAA member. Now, I just want to talk about the classic exploration, spotlights, cruising, and faith-based. We have different tour styles to fit your needs. Classic is going to be your larger group, capped at 44. They average around 33 guests or travelers. We go to many, many destinations, all 7 continents on our classic, and wonderful product. But our biggest growing product as far as growth and added product is our explorations, which is averages 14 to 20, well, averages 14 to 17, but no more than 14 to 24 for almost semi-private touring. Have the same benefits, same value. You're going to see that it is not as much expensive for a small group that is off our classic. So you really want to explore these tours as options. Many destinations, smaller groups. There's things that you can do as a smaller group that you might not be able to do as a bigger group. So this is good for your FIT. If you're typically used to traveling as a single or a few people, maybe a travel companion, and doing it all yourself, look at these explorations because you're going to look at 30 to 40% savings doing in explorations and then having the benefit of a guide and entrance fees and not wasting time in line or what am I going to do today. So really a great way to explore guided travel with our small group tours. Spotlights are your one hotel stays. If you don't like to pack and unpack, you're going to look at spotlights. These are average 5 to 9 days. An example would be Paris for 5 days and a New York City stay for 5 days. Great value because the more you stay at a hotel, the better rates they're going to give you. So wonderful to book these if you are going to Europe, maybe off a river cruise or an ocean cruise. So you do want to talk about spotlights with your travel advisor if you're going to Europe. Same exact experiences with your local guide and inclusions, but just you're staying at one hotel for the entire stay. Now, I wanted to feature some very, very popular tours, some off the beaten path, but some that have really grown in popularity the last few years that have jumped into the top 10. And again, we have 160 plus itineraries to all 7 continents, some classics, some spotlights, and some of your exploration small group. Now, this is our Northern Lights of Finland, 8 days, 12 meals. And when we released this a few years ago, we added 20 departures. That's how popular it was. And when you think of Finland, we do offer this during the winter months. And Scandinavia can be very cold, but people that came back, they wanted to see the Northern Lights. They wanted to experience this region during this time of year. And it was cold, but they said it just felt right. And they just really got them into the spirit of the season. And it's wonderful because you're 3 nights in both locations. You're not hopping around. You average 3 nights, 3 nights. So you get a full day in the destinations. And I have a wonderful video to just show you what you'll experience in Finland. This is an activity level of 3. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 being not so active and 4 being very active. This is a 3, so you're going to be looking at 2.5 hours of moderate pace, 3 plus flights of stairs, and just kind of give you an idea of what you're going to experience on tour. And it is Europe, so you're going to see a lot more steps, a lot more uneven terrain while in destination. So we just want to give you that heads up. And again, it is cold in this area, and we will talk about that. But when you see the video, you just really can feel the experience while you're there.
Sure. For me, getting to know a new culture is all about diving in. You need to immerse yourself. You can't hold back. the Finnish people really had this way of easing you into their way of life. When you asked a question, their face lit up and they wanted to tell you something. There was so many opportunities for me to kind of get out and just do things on my own. I found that it was very easy to strike up a conversation with the locals there. You know, really had an insider's view at what their culture represented. This trip was full of so many adventures, but oftentimes travelers head to Finland for just one reason: to experience the Northern Lights. Out of nowhere, this illustrious fireworks started in the sky. I felt connected with nature at that moment. I had an adventure in Finland that I never fully imagined that I would have. Even the childish nature that it brought out from within me, it exceeded what my level of expectation was. As a traveler, someone who loves adventure, it was the tour for me.
Yeah, just a wonderful video. And talking about accommodations, we just don't put you in a hotel in these areas. We really strategically want either hand selected these igloo hotels. In some cases, you're sleeping under the stars, and and sometimes the Northern Lights. But just wonderful partners that we've partnered with in Finland. And I do have a quick video on what you're experiencing in this Arctic resort from the owner.
Part of our stay includes 2 nights in a Finnish log cabin. It is very rustic, but very luxurious. For one of our nights here, we stayed in a small glass igloo. The resort offers incredible activities: husky safaris, reindeer safaris, snowshoeing, skiing, incredible northern lights. Anyone who would have the opportunity to experience this tour, they would never forget it.
Well, I think it shows you that we're getting off that motor coach, we're experiencing the culture, we're meeting the locals, and it's just a great way that people love to experience a destination. I do have one more video with Finland on the dog sled experience.
Husky safari experience was magical. You have these animals that are energized to bring you through the Lapland, through this incredible scenery, completely pristine. Nothing has been touched. The Huskies are adorable, and each dog has a name. The people who run and guide the Husky safaris know each and every dog. We stopped halfway at this teepee. We had some coffee and traditional Finnish cakes. It was just magical.
Well, I'm a dog lover, so I absolutely love that video. And I have to say, the dogs are even more excited than our members and travelers. Canadian Rockies, I did want to feature. This has always been in the top 10, but it's really climbed to the top 5 in the last couple of years. We do offer this tour with the Canadian Rocky Mountain Air. It's 8 days, 13 meals, starting in Vancouver and then heading over by train, stopping in Kamloops, staying at the Chateau Lake Louise, Banff for 2 nights, and then 1 night Calgary. Now, in any of these tours, you can work with your travel advisor to extend in Vancouver, extend in Calgary, as well in Finland. And we also have tours that line up that you could extend in Europe if you want to do Finland and then jump over to England, Italy. We do have tours that line up very, very well. And so if you're flying to these areas, that's the biggest cost of the area. If you have the time and the means to stay, people are staying multi weeks and taking multi tours, which is a great way if you can do it. Now the activity level is a 2 on this, walking up to 2 hours on as a relaxed pace, 2 flights of stairs, and obviously on and off the motor coach and the train at times. Now you do start in Vancouver, great city, right on the coast and very, very close to the train yard, where we'll have breakfast, on the peak of Vancouver and then head over onto the Rocky Mountain Air train. It's an unbelievable experience. If you've never experienced it, it's just unbelievable sights, fantastic service and food. And I just have a quick video just to show you what you'll be experiencing on the Rocky Mountain Air.
The vibrancy of Vancouver slowly evaporates in the distance. The majestic coast mountains rise up to greet you. And you find yourself on a historic journey that retraces the route of the great 19th century explorers. Let your imagination travel along with the first pioneers, across rushing rivers, through magnificent canyons, alongside sheer rock faces, but with the unparalleled luxury and service the early explorers could never dream of. Marvel in awe as you cut through ancient gray-green volcanic rocks that are 200 million years old. Well, give or take a million. Now you find yourself back in 1885 at Gregalicky, the famous site of the last sput, where Canada's east and west were finally united by 3,200 kilometers of track. With vivid historic imagery still in your mind, the awe-inspiring natural beauty continues to unfold before your eyes. Here's your chance to bring out your inner landscape photographer. Like those who came before you, your journey follows the Kicking Horse River deep into the breathtaking Canadian Rockies. Next up, the legendary spiral tunnels, which opened in 1909. Twist your way through the engineering marvel that proved to be the most difficult terrain to break on Canada's railroad. By now, you're as steeped in history as the vertical drops of the magnificent mountains you pass by. Postcard images continue to appear around every bend until eventually, world-famous Banff comes into view, and you're left wondering how it's possible to travel both forwards and backwards in time. The first passage to the west. Who says you can't travel through time?
Well, it's a great video, and we've partnered with Rocky Mountain Air, which it's a great partnership. Obviously, on this tour, it is a fully guided tour. Your tour manager is traveling with you from Vancouver on the train and then in Kamloops. So that same guide is with you through the whole time. We do have a stay in the Chateau Lake Louise, which is right on Lake Louise, a fantastic Fairmont property. And we always pride ourselves on getting out of the hotel and using the local restaurants, but we want to stay right there, right at the Chateau Lake Louise, where we have our meals. Many tour operators, they make a photo stop at the Chateau Lake Louise, and that's where you're staying for the evening and having dinner. So it's a great way to get off that train and just have a luxurious hotel stay at the Fairmont Chateau Lake Louise. And then ending in heading to Banff, and then heading to Calgary, where we fly out. But just a fantastic tour that runs from late spring all the way till early fall. And you really want to, it just has a different season for all spring, summer, and fall. So anytime you go, you're just going to have a wonderful time. And then heading through the Icefield Parkway, heading to Calgary, and then off to Japan. The last itinerary I really wanted to feature is something close to my heart. I've been with Member Choice Vacations for 22 years now, and I was a product designer, and one I put together was the Treasures of Japan. It is 2 weeks, 18 meals. We have a product designer that lives in Japan now, so we've really have wonderful value there. We don't contract anything with destination management companies. So we've cut the middleman out, and Japan has become a really well appointed and priced tour for our portfolio. You do fly out of Tokyo and out of Osaka. There is an extension to Hiroshima, but this is a wonderful 3-night, 1-night, 2, and then 4 nights in my favorite area, the cultural place in Japan, Kyoto. It's an activity level of 3. I did review that. Obviously, some uneven terrain and some walking for you to understand that. But just really quick, it's a wonderful country. The people, it's one of the cleanest countries I've ever been to, and just the culture and the people and the food are just wonderful. We do a typical tea ceremony, but other things that we do is origami folding, sake tasting, sushi making, and we do a home-hosted dinner in Japan, which is just a highlight of the trip. One thing that I don't have pictures of, but one of the highlights is we go to the Ama Pearl Divers and experience the women pearl diving and have lunch on the beach with them. So really immersing ourselves with the culture, with the people, and it's just a fantastic destination. Ending in the Golden Pavilion, Kyoto, and just look at that absolute history and just amazing settings. And then we do take the bullet train. And then this is another picture of Kyoto. As I mentioned, we do offer that you can talk to your travel advisor with. You can always extend. You can offer business class, first class air, pre and post nights. If you wanted to add a pre-night in Tokyo, just to make sure you're not jet lagged for the tour, post nights, tour extensions, as I mentioned in Hiroshima, and wonderful dining experiences and optional excursions that you can talk to your travel advisor about. So things that you can extend and add to your tour to make it your own. That is all I have for the itineraries, the presentation, and videos. I'm going to hand it back to Michelle and see if we have any questions.
Thanks, Kevin. That was really incredible. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. You know, I've had the pleasure to travel around the world with AAA, and I've seen some things on here I've not done, and now I'm all excited. I've never rode in a tuk-tuk, is that what it's called? So that looks like fun. But yeah, so we're going to get to some questions that they're dropping in. Please continue. Go ahead and drop them in the chat, and we'll roll through them here. Hopefully we can get to all of them before Kevin has to leave. So the first question we have is, are there any tours that you can combine into one trip, thinking about saving money on airfare?
Yes, absolutely. It's become very, very popular, especially to Europe, because you're exactly right. The airfare is the biggest cost of the trip. So when you work with AAA and your travel advisor, we have tours that our call center has lined up for you as suggestions. They could be exactly aligned. There might be a flight involved, a ferry, but you can. We would offer a pre or a post night. So many people might do our London and Paris, which is London 3 nights, Paris 3 nights. They fly to Italy and take one of our 18 tours to Italy. Very, very popular, and you would just work with your travel advisor to work with our itinerary builders to show you what is aligned. So we can do the airfare for you, your travel advisor, and it would all be part of the package. So when you get back, you'd have that sedan service all lined up for you.
Nice. Again, making it all seamless.
Yes.
Fantastic. All right. So, Devin, what's the average age that you see on your tours?
Yes, we do offer to all ages. We've seen more multi-generational travel. Since the tours tend to be a little bit longer, we've seen a lot of very popular active adults, semi-retired and retired. Our age is around 62. We have families. We, again, have multi-generational, and we have 70 and 80-year-olds. So it depends on the tour. There's some areas that tend to be a little bit younger, like an Iceland or a Costa Rica tends to be a little bit younger than some maybe European trips. But no, all ages, all types of groups travel with us.
Fantastic. And that's how you learn. You learn from each other on the tour too, especially someone who has a lot of travel experience. It's always fun to travel something like that.
Yeah, and it's amazing. People travel, they meet someone on tour, and then they travel the next year and they become friends. I mean, it's just a way that travel just embraces that kind of friendship, and you meet friends all over the world, and you surprise yourself who you meet and who you travel with the next year.
All right, great. Next question we have is when you say meals are included, heard that a couple times. Is there limited menus of these restaurants? Because they do have groups sometime.
Yes, well, we used to include all meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And actually, what we were hearing is they didn't necessarily want to have all meals included, especially in Europe. If you've ever been, lunch is their biggest meal of the day, so it could be a 2 to 3 hour experience. Our travelers just wanted to grab a gelato and shop and kind of explore. So 60% of our meals are included. That's all breakfast. Breakfast is at leisure at the hotel. You go down when you want, and then you kind of have the activity and the agenda for the day. So the tour manager will tell you where and when you need to be. Lunch tends to be on your own. We do offer some lunches, but they tend to be an experience. So a lunch in Italy might be at Mount Etna at a winery paired with lunch and wines. And then meals, about 50% of our dinners are included. They aren't restricted. They're not off the menu, but they tend to have 5 to 6 options, vegetarian options. And then we, as I mentioned, we always can take care of meal restrictions, dietary concerns, but we always have the cultural food from the region. So that's always an option. We're not forcing you to have it, but that's always an option on our menus for local cuisine.
Great. All right. So, not a question, but they said they enjoyed the video's information and they're going to add a few of these things to their travel list, and we'll reach out to the travel advisor tomorrow. Thank you so much. That's fantastic to hear. Do you have another question though? How is your tours different from Road Scholar?
Road Scholar, I'm not too familiar with them. Again, I've been in the industry 22 years. Where we see ourselves as a premium product. We're not 5-star luxury and we're not 2 to 3-star. So I don't know where they are. We're right where we want to be is that 4-star. So not a lot of out-of-pocket expenses. We include the must-sees. We're not an option-driven company. And we use 4-star superior, centrally located hotels in city. And we say strategically because those igloo hotels, if you notice, those aren't city center, but those are a highlight to the trip. So I want to say we're 4-star out of a 5-star product, premium product. So I'm not familiar with the company, but again, we go to all 7 continents, 160 itineraries, which is a pretty good portfolio.
Yeah, that is a great portfolio. And I would just say from our side, being that AAA partners or AAA member choice vacations, that you're traveling with AAA, so you're traveling with peace of mind, someone you know, and someone who's been doing it for a long time. So I'm not familiar with Road Scholar too much either, but yeah, so that's why we like AAA member choice vacations. But
and you can always the travel advisors are absolutely fantastic. They do a breakdown of what's included, where you're staying. I just want to make sure that you're using something like a AAA preferred. They've done the research, and we've been a wonderful partner with them. So they just have the backing of AAA. It's just fantastic.
Yep, so true. Another question, do I talk to my local AAA office about these tours? I can answer that one. Yes. Any tour that you've seen this evening, or maybe you are thinking about going somewhere, dreaming about going somewhere, and need some help and guidance on it, that's what your AAA office is for. So just contact your local AAA office. They'll get you connected with an expert in that area that can give you some assistance and get you on a member choice vacations. All right, next one. Let's see. We haven't traveled internationally for the last few years. Will you help with things I need to have to travel internationally?
Yes, your travel advisor will. And then when you pick an itinerary, it's going to tell you what documents you need, whether it's a visa, passport, the changes that have happened in Europe. We're well-versed as a company, and the AAA travel advisors can tell you exactly what you need. Also, you receive documents about 2 weeks out from us that will tell you what to pack, what not to pack, weather, And then you also get an email from your travel advisor and tour manager if you have any questions. So they're going to tell you, again, weather, what to expect, uneven terrain. One thing I can say is definitely you don't want to be breaking in a new pair of shoes going to Europe. So you want to make sure you're bringing comfortable shoes. But that is all in the documents, whether it's Wi-Fi or information on converters for your camera or computer. That is all in the documents.
Fantastic. All right, one more question. What is the minimum and maximum number of people for your Japan tour?
Japan tour, we have 3 different itineraries. We've just added another itinerary that I didn't feature, but is Japan explorations, and then you do extend to South Korea. So it depends on what tour you're picking, but we do have guaranteed departure dates. One thing I didn't mention, we had over 60,000 seats. So if you're booking your own air or air with points, you want to select your guaranteed departure dates, and those tours are guaranteed. We've had travelers with 2, 4, or tours that we sent with 2 or 4 people. Explorations, our small group averages 14 guests, and our classic is 33. We max out our classic tours at 44, and we max out our private touring or explorations at 24. So it really depends, but talking to your travel advisor, we can give you the number of people that are actually signed up for the tour. It could grow or decrease, but it kind of gives you an idea of how many people would be on tour.
Great. All right. Good information. Really appreciate it. Oh, one more slipped in here. Are you actually staying in a barrel? I seen a barrel. How big is that barrel?
Yes, it is very, very, very nice. It's what you call basically glamping. It is a wine barrel hotel room. There are accommodations inside. And it is an experience, but no, very, very nice. But it's a good question, because if it was just a barrel with no windows, yeah, that would be a little scary. But no, this is a wonderful experience that you experience in Portugal.
Oh, thank you. And then another quick question. In the tour information, do you give tipping recommendations?
Yes, we do. Yes, and that is your discretion, and it does talk about the driver and the local guides as well as the tour manager.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, that seems to be all the questions for this evening. But do, remember, if you are interested in anything you've seen this evening with AAA Member Choice Vacations, or interested in any of our curated travel we have with them, please reach out to your local AAA travel agent. And again, you can get an agent through visitAAA.com /travel agent. In case you don't have one, you can find a local expert that way. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us this evening. Kevin, thank you so much. Appreciate your help. Diane, always fantastic in the background, helping out. And just everyone, safe travels, happy travels, enjoy life, get out there and travel, everyone.
Thank you.